Hi, how you doing, guys? Hope you're well. I've gotten a bit of an inspired read here for you guys today. I've been guided to pick four particular cards that I'm going to clarify for your reading, and we're going to have one wild card in the middle that is going to be the reason for the whole reading. So the central wild card is going to be possibly the reason why you're here, collective. Okay, so this is an inspired read. This is going to be quite a unique reading for you guys. So let's begin. We have the Empress. This represents the body, the emotions, the earth. The High Priestess, representing your intuition, your subconscious mind. The Moon. This could represent illusions or fear or what is hidden from you. And the World card. This is to do with ascending, mastery, learning through the cycles in your life. So let's get the Wild card from the Major Arcana, guys. So it's only going to be one card from the Major Arcana, and then we're going to clarify. So what is the central card for the collective? The Devil. This is to do with certain negative things in your life. Could be to do with toxicity, addictions, things that you are bonded to. It could represent like a spiritual warfare that you're going through with someone or within yourself, within your life. So let me mix these the major cards into the deck so they're quite spread out, so they're not in the same position. Just bear with me, guys. The shuffle. So we'll begin with the Empress, which is in the lower position of your reading. So why is the Empress here for the collective? We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Page of Wands, and the King of Wands. So the Wheel of Fortune talks about repeating patterns within your life. It's also connected to fate or luck. The Page of Wands is a messenger. King of Wands is someone who is very attractive. Somebody that you, collective, may be involved with here. There is a strong attraction between a person in your life that you've repeated many cycles with. There is a very physical connection with this person that you have. I feel very strong sexual energy between you and this person, collective. They have a very sweet demeanour. They can be very sweet and charming. They can have this childlike energy to them, because they're being represented here as the Page of Wands and the King of Wands. The fact that the central card of your reading is the Devil, collective, I sense that there's something wrong with this particular connection that you have with this person. There's an obstacle. There's something difficult between you and this person. Like I said, there is a bond here. I don't know how healthy this bond is, collective. I feel as though there's something strongly wrong with your bond with this person, but there is also there is some positives that you see and that you feel. This person makes you feel really good when things are going well. This person knows you to your core. You know them to their core. You have a very deep connection. So this is in the physical plane. This is representing earth energy here. This person could affect your stability, collective, I feel. They could affect your stability. You may be over-sacrificing for this person, or you find yourself sacrificing too much for them. And you may have felt in the past that what they were giving you was adequate, but you're not necessarily so certain anymore. Let's have a look at the High Priestess, which is representing water in this spread. Okay, so we have the 4 elements here. We have earth, water, fire and air, and we have the middle element in the center, the 5th element. If you guys remember that movie, you remember what the 5th element is, guys. Let's have a look at the High Priestess. Your intuition, your feelings, your emotions. You have the Hanged Man as a clarifier. You have the 8 of Swords. You have the Page of Pentacles. Hangman is Pisces. High Priestess is also Pisces energy. At times, collective, you feel alone. You feel that maybe you spend too much time on your own. This can lead to a lot of overthinking or mental traps. Again, it is connected to this second energy in your reading. They're showing up here as the Page of Pentacles. You feel that you sacrifice too much, or you sacrifice too much. You feel at times stationary, or as though there isn't movement or progress. But there is a strong energy of feeling trapped. Feeling very trapped at the moment with the situation that you're in with this person. You've done your best to see all angles of this situation with them. You've done your best to be empathetic or to step outside yourself. So on the one hand, with the Empress energy, physically, you feel certain physical satisfaction with this person, you know, in the physical pursuits of the world. The things connected to your body and to the pleasure that you have. But emotionally, there is a lack. You feel certain lack that comes from this person. And not just a lack, but also a person that confuses you and gives you some type of mental instability or unhappiness. Let's have a look at the moon. We have the Eight of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and the Two of Wands. The grand illusion here, collective, the thing that unfortunately you've allowed yourself to be fooled by believing that everything you were building or working on with this person to achieve this Ten of Cups, to build this happy life or family, you're starting to see that this was one-sided, and it was something that you were really working on by yourself. Unfortunately, sometimes we like to see in people like a projection of that thing within ourselves that we desire. That person doesn't necessarily live up to your expectations or your inner belief system. Like, we do tend to project this type of thing onto the people we meet or fall in love with. This person you've discovered, I feel over a period of time, collective, I feel this is a wake-up call. You've discovered that this person is not what you saw them to be or what they presented themselves to be at the beginning. And you find yourself now at a crossroads, needing to make a decision in which direction you need to go in. Now you're starting to see clearly. There is, you know, after the moon we have the sunrise, and I feel that you're gaining that illumination within yourself. I also feel you're becoming more self-aware and learning things that possibly you needed to learn, maybe a hard lesson. This relationship has led to your own self-illumination. I feel you've gone through an awakening here with all of this. You needed to meet this person, collective, in order to have this awakening. It's led to self-discovery. So even though it's been painful, it has also been very beneficial for you, collective, to go through this process with this person. Let's have a look at the world. You have the Chariot, the Tower, and the Page of Cups. This person's shown up 3 times here as a page in your reading, collective. They've shown up as Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and now the Page of Cups. The thing that you're learning to master, collective, within yourself, by going through these processes with certain people in your life, you're starting to learn to have more self-control and not to rush into danger the way you used to. You could be the type of person, collective, that has enjoyed being in dangerous situations. You get a thrill from that. Some of you unwittingly get involved in drama and chaos because, let's face it, drama and chaos can be more exciting than being in a very vanilla type of relationship, where the person is predictable. I think you enjoyed the unpredictability of this type of relationship, of this chaos. This also makes this person more interesting for you, collective. But now you're learning mastery over yourself, having more self-control, knowing that going down these dark pathways only leads to destruction, and it only leads to pain for you. But you're definitely learning a very valuable lesson through going through this process. And I feel that you've gone through this process, at least 2 or 3 times with this particular person that you're involved with. Let's have a look at the Devil, which is the most important card for your reading here. What is it, collective, that you're so bonded to, that you're so stuck on? Is this like a trauma bond that you've created with this person? You have the 3 of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and you have the 4 of Swords. This is the process I see, and this is definitely what you get in trauma bonded relationships. Things are going well for a certain period of time. You feel happy, you feel connected with this person. Physically, emotionally, you feel strong connection, you feel love, you feel desire. You also feel you get this mirrored in the person that you deal with, okay? But what's created such a strong trauma bond between you and them, collective, and the thing that's been hard for you to shake is the fact that they break your heart, okay? You feel heartbroken. This person does something very devastating to you, okay? Perhaps they cheat on you, perhaps they withdraw, they disappear, they don't answer your messages, perhaps they ghost you. Then they come back with very loving energy, possibly apologies, okay? You see like a message after maybe a month or 2 months, maybe longer. And you feel this surge of adrenaline or dopamine, you feel this, you feel strongly triggered within yourself, collective, even though you said to yourself on countless times, I'm not going to react, I'm not going to respond, I'm not going to get back into this web, I'm not going to get trapped again. But unfortunately, this is the trauma bond. It is this process of being hurt and then receiving love again from this person, receiving attention, receiving apologies, being made to feel that things are going to go well, that things are going to change, and that you're going to give this another shot. And it always leaves you in the 4 of Swords. It leaves you needing to heal, to take time on your own, to rebuild yourself, and just to end up back in the energy of the 3 of Swords again. And this is the trauma bond. This is the reason for this whole reading. It is this addiction that you have with this person. And they possibly have this addiction with you, collective. And there is only one way for you to break this addiction. And that is for you to spiritually ascend. To change this dynamic. This is a typical twin flame thing that they talk about, guys, that you hear about. The runner-chaser dynamic. Which, in my opinion, guys, of studying psychology and looking at attachment wounds, this is the cycle of an anxious attachment style with an avoidant attachment style. So the person that is always leaving, the person that is always withdrawing the energy, the runner, is an avoidant, which I feel that you're possibly dealing with. And if you are the type of person that is constantly feeling anxious and chasing them, feeling like you constantly need to fix and repair things, then you may yourself have a wound, an anxious wound, and it keeps you and this person in this repeating cycle. And your lesson here, guys, is to break this cycle for good, and to get out of this cycle and to learn to have healthier relationships. So this is what I feel is the message here from this reading. This is what the cards are trying to tell us here, collective. And it's down to you whether you want to do the work to change this within yourself. You know, tarot, coming to tarot, it's good for advice. It's good to see perhaps what is going on within yourself and within what is going on with that person. But for your healing and for your growth, you need to look into other things. You may need to look into some type of psychology, gain more self-awareness. Because like I said, these type of relationships this is a spiritual battle, guys. And this is why you got the devil at the center of your reading. So this is what I have for you guys. I hope this helps. Please leave a comment. Let me know if this resonates. Leave a like. Share the video if you think this may help someone else. And I'll see you guys again soon.